Good day, folks. Welcome back to another chinwag. So in today's little chat, the theme is going to be to slow down in life and how I got taught that in Africa, in Kenya. Loads of these lessons are coming from Africa, aren't they? Don't know if you've been watching these chinwags, but still early into them, but many of the stories are coming from that continent. Anyways, while I was there on my first trip, I stayed in a little place called Kilifi, and the woman I was staying with had a friend called Brian, a young lad. I think he must have been at the time 23, something like that. And a lot of these young kids in Africa are very clever and very switched on, and they're always looking for business opportunities, you know, an entrepreneur, I suppose you could call them. Always looking for ways to make money and business ventures and all of this, you know. He was so driven, you know, such a driven young man. And anyways, really connected with him, you know. We went on a few cycle rides together and just hung out together in general, basically. Went on a nice little tuk-tuk ride together in a nice little pink tuk-tuk. We were joking about that because it looked quite strange, you know. Could have looked strange anyway. But anyways, one thing he taught me was to slow down in life, in a way. Because there was one time we went on a little walk, a cycle ride actually it was. He wanted to take me to this little kind of cliff edge that he always takes himself to on his own. He says he usually goes there on his own to think and to gather his thoughts and all of this. And he says when he's in a good vibe, when he's in a good spirit, he says he always gets visited by this turtle. This turtle will always pop up and kind of say hello to him, you know, and then it'll just swim away. So I was like, oh, that's really nice, that's nice, it's really nice. He's like, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight, you know, when I take you there to see whether he comes to see us or not. So anyway, we cycle a beautiful cycle ride through the Kenyan countryside, basically, or through the fields, and absolutely stunning little bike ride. Anyways, we got to the cliff edge and we were sitting there just chatting away, and next minute, sure as hell, the old turtle popped his head up, didn't he? Said hello, hung about for a little bit and went off. And he was like, wow, I feel blessed. He was like, you must have a real nice spirit. So I took that on. I put that in my pocket, folks. Kept that one, you know. Anyways, the following day he came to see me and asking if I wanted to hang out, and we went for a walk down to the shop. And as we were walking along, I was just walking at my normal pace, you know, and he was like, hey, you need to slow down, you need to slow down, you know. I tried to put the accent on, but there's no point because it'd just be terrible. But he was saying, you walk too fast, you know, just slow down, what's the rush? And I was thinking, well, yeah, what is the rush, you know? But I didn't really feel like I was rushing. But he was like, you taking life too fast, just slow down, just chill, man, just chill. So I went down to his pace of walking, which at first was very slow for me, you know, like it was very difficult for me to kind of walk at that pace. But after a while it became actually quite pleasurable. It felt quite nice, you know. It felt kind of like I was taking more in, like I was able to focus more, like I wasn't just rushing by, if that makes sense. So I try to do that. Even though I struggle, I still catch myself rushing about all the time. But when I do catch myself, I always try and slow down with things, you know. Even on my cycle rides now, I'll have little blasts of kind of, you know, giving my legs a bit of exercise, but then I'll definitely make sure I take time to slow down and take things in and take things at a slower pace. So, and that's what I noticed after he talked to me about that, after he kind of explained that to me. I realized how I do kind of rush about a little bit, you know. And I think it's just the Western world. It's just, we're in such a busy lifestyle. I mean, I don't even live in a city, do you know what I mean? But we're just used to like doing things and do this, do that, you know. Whereas he'd be just happy sat there kind of staring out into the garden, looking at the plants for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just sat there, just taking it all in, you know. But the walking thing, I actually did think, wow, yeah, I do kind of rush about a little bit, you know. Whereas he'd just walk slower and take things in his stride a bit more. So yeah, man, if you're a little bit like me and you're a little bit kind of energetic, so to speak, try and slow it down a little bit, slow life down a little bit, you know, the pace of life. Sometimes that's what, without us knowing, can make us even more if we are kind of anxious and edgy and a bit kind of, you know, fidgety. Just try and slow down a little bit, you know. It's the same with everything. Even like driving, you know, people drive, they're just erratic, they just want to get from A to B and they're just driving fast. And reality is, if you did that same distance drive just calmly, you'd probably get there like 2 minutes later, you know what I mean? So yeah, so the message of the chinwag, I guess, is like, try and slow the pace of life down sometimes, you know, and especially in this world where everything's a bit stressful and all that kind of thing. Like when I go out for walks and that now, I do try to slow down. Again, when I'm hiking, I sometimes go too fast and then I get myself out of breath. So if I catch myself doing it, I just make sure I slow down, and it just feels better, you know, just I don't get out of breath, and I'm still pretty much going at the same pace, I'm just not getting out of breath. So that was my other lesson, another lesson learnt in Kilifi in Kenya. Many lessons learnt there, folks, many lessons. This won't be the last, I'm sure. Anyways, I'm just going to enjoy the rest of this sun going down. I'll see you guys in another chinwag or one of my travel videos. If you catch up with me over there, I'll see you in that one. And I don't usually say this kind of thing, folks, but if you're not already, subscribe to the channel if you feel like you want to, and hit the notification bell, because algorithms on YouTube, this is why I probably won't make it big on on YouTube, because I don't really like the algorithm things you have to do and stuff. But if you feel like you're getting any value out of this, then please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, por favor. Okay folks, see you in the next one. Peace.